Hello, this is Dr. Evelyn Hill with Shades in Justice podcast. Hey, we're so excited you decided to stop by. Hey, you can catch us every Wednesday evening, 8:30 Central Standard Time or 9:30 Eastern Time. We want to see you right here at Positive Power Christian Radio. Again, this is Dr. Evelyn Hill with Shades in Justice podcast, a chance where you can hear about justice and injustices here in our country. Again, Dr. Evelyn Hill with Shades in Justice podcast. Hello and welcome. This is Dr. Evelyn Hill with Shades in Justice podcast. Hey, I'm so excited you are with us on today. And I must say, again, I am so impressed with our special guest for this show. Tonight, we have the one and only Evelyn McKinney. Now, she's a special young lady to me because we share the first name. So, she can't be nothing but excellent. And so I'm just excited that she is with us on this evening. Evelyn McKinney, welcome.
Thank you for all of that. I thank you for having me on today. You love to embarrass me.
No, I just want to do a good job of welcoming you.
I appreciate it.
One of the wonderful things that I know about you, you are the executive director, CEO of Sue's Safe Haven. And before we get into Sue's Safe Haven, do you mind just sharing a little bit about Evelyn as a child, the way you grew up, what city were you born in, how many siblings? Can you tell us a little bit about you and your family growing up?
I am the second of 5 children, 4 girls, 1 boy. I was born and raised in Kansas City, Kansas, Wyandotte County. Oh. And I hung out on 11th and Greeley for a long time of my childhood.
Oh, boy. Okay. Excellent.
That's where I was raised. Yes.
Okay. Excellent. What high school did you go to?
I went to Wyandotte High School.
Okay. And that's the Bulldogs, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And they say once a bulldog, always a bulldog. That's what I keep hearing on the street.
I don't use it.
Okay.
I don't know about it.
You don't know about all that. Okay, well, that's all right. We'll skip right over that. I did not grow up in the Kansas City, Kansas area. I grew up on Kansas City, Missouri area. So, yeah, totally different. And I went to Lincoln High School, which is now Lincoln Prep. So totally different area and all that. So what I want to talk about on tonight is a little bit about your position with being the executive director of Sue's Safe Haven. Here in Wyandotte County, Kansas City, Kansas, we have a void of reputable places for people, especially families and women that need shelter. And though we are working in that arena with the commissioners and with the mayor, we just still have not successfully come up with anything yet. But you have been in existence with Sue's Safe Haven how long?
For 6 years.
6 years. Wow. And so you've been providing services for homeless families and women for 6 years. And you're like one of the greatest secrets in this community. Not too many people know about the expert service that you've been given to families in our community. Do you mind sharing just a little bit about some of the services that you share? And then we'll dig in a little bit deeper about why you chose to get into this type of work. But first of all, just share some of the services that you have there.
We provide emergency shelter and transitional shelter. Emergency shelter is new because of some obstacles we have, but
Mhm.
we started off with just transitioning, and we provide a 12-month service to the women and children, give them enough time to get their self positioned to transition out of the home. Uh,
Mhm.
we provide classes such as budgeting, life skills, nutrition class, exercise classes, and we take a holistic approach. So we have Bible studies as well. So mind, body, and soul is what we focus on.
Uh-huh.
And we help them transition out of homelessness into permanent housing.
Okay. Wow. Do you have partnerships throughout the community where you're able to help them uh, with the housing piece? Like, do you work specifically with any particular organization that just transitions them into housing?
Oh, I do. I work with a few. We also provide mentoring too. So we do have a new partnership with a group, but we partnership with Avenue of Life.
Uh-huh.
They kind of help. They help with the placements sometimes,
Okay.
and we have partnership with people who own houses because that's one of our issues is finding housing options.
Uh-huh.
So we have partnerships with second chance housing um,
Wow.
landlords. Yeah.
Okay. Boy, that is interesting. Second chance housing. And is that like a multi-family type building, or like you said, it's just the owner of a house and
It's
they
just
just
a owner of a house who would give somebody another chance to rent,
uh-huh.
yeah, without
Oh,
having to pay the evictions and things of that sort.
okay.
But we do have agencies that help pays for evictions and things.
Oh my. Yeah, that's awesome. And have you discovered that in this work that a certain percentage of your clients have been evicted and they got to start all over? Because once you evicted, our systems are harsh.
Hmm.
Once you evicted, it's over. It's hard to get in anywhere. You want to talk about that just a little bit?
I'll say about 98% of the people coming here have been evicted.
Wow.
And so what I have seen is some apartments, and most the housing vouchers in Section 8, as long as they pay off the eviction, they are able to still get placed into a house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in other words, while they're in your program, they get a job and they start paying their bills. And that's one of the main bills they start paying. And that's one of the goals so that they can transition into permanent housing.
That is one of the goals. That is part of the budgeting goal that goes on in the house. Everyone must save 30% of their check, and
Uh-huh.
the rest they need to use to pay bills, pay off any barriers they have to getting them in permanent housing.
Hmm.
So
And do you have barriers at all that deal with legal issues like warrants for arrest and uh,
I
traffic
don't call
traffic
me.
tickets?
No, I don't call me crazy. I take everybody, anybody. The point that's because we all need help. Sometimes all it takes is somebody to organize some dates and say you have to go or you can't stay here.
Yeah, yeah.
They'll go to court, get the warrants taken care of.
Uh-huh.
I don't not accept them because they have those issues. No.
Hmm. Wow. So you help with that too. So you are like a court and justice advocate.
Yes, yes, sometimes. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. This is very, very interesting because a lot of times people in need have all these barriers that are preventing them from getting to the next space in life. And they just need a helping hand.
Hmm.
And once you get in the court system, it like dominoes. It like, okay, so you didn't pay this, so your court costs go up, and then the next time you something else is slapped on different court fees. So the fact that you're able to help them get a budget in place and now start working on goals to get stuff paid off, That's incredibly important. So thank you for that word.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you.
So tell me, what in the world uh, happened that you are in this type of work? I would say it takes a special person to get in and dive in with women and families where it looks like their lives are crumbling. And then there you are to kind of pick them up, put them back together again, and then help them get to their next space of permanent success. How, what got you interested in this whole work?
My mom, I was younger, my mom was homeless with, I think it was probably four of us, I believe. Or she's
Mm-hmm.
pregnant with one and with three kids. And we literally stayed in Bended House and under the bridge. And there was nowhere else to go. There wasn't women's shelter. There wasn't nowhere she could take four kids, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
we end up in that building at night and under the bridge in the daytime, washing up in the lake. Uh, and when she got over all of that, she found her a place to live. She started helping other women and other people just walking up the street because she knew that it wasn't nowhere else to send them.
Wow.
And
That that's a harsh reality that a family can honestly get to that place. So there was no auntie you could stay with, or a cousin, or your mom's best friend. You stayed under the bridge in the daytime, and at night you went into a house that was abandoned.
yeah, I think it's more of a pride thing when it comes to family, you know,
Okay.
with my mom, you know, but there wasn't no agencies or anything that she can turn to. I think
Hmm.
it was probably kind of like now it is just you need to be a better woman or something to be taken to a
Yeah.
shelter, you know. So
Yeah.
it wasn't just somebody to take on a woman with that many kids.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wow. And it seems like that's the woman you should really help because she's got those kids. That's, I mean, that instead of the number of kids being a barrier, it should have been an automatic help.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's got four kids. We got to get them kids off the street. We got to get them safe in a safe place. That should be the goal of our community and our society. So
It should.
I'm looking forward to working with you even more so that we can really make some positive decisions and solutions how to
Mm-hmm.
really help families.
Yes.
So when people get kicked out, it's not because they're lazy necessarily or they're on drugs or they're strung out. It's just life happens sometimes.
Yes.
And then there you are. It's
Yep.
just life happens.
And,
Go
and
ahead.
that's
Look
what
like
and that's what I see a lot is it's
yeah,
just life happening. You know,
yeah,
when you look on TV and the commercials saying, you know, it basically tell you homeless people it's just because they don't want to work and they lazy, like you said, or they're on drugs and all that. No, it's just one stressful situation just took them all the way down. You
yeah,
know, I
yeah.
mean, I got the RNs, they are, you know, they are educated, more educated than me, you know, and they
Wow.
just couldn't take the pressure. Some
Uh-huh.
needed somebody to say, I love you. You can do
Oh
it,
my.
you
Yes.
know.
Mhm.
So, and them are normal things to me. You know,
Yes.
they are me.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Wow. I
yeah,
love that part. You said they just need someone to say, I love you, someone to empower them to say, hey, you can do this. We'll work through this together. Just a word of encouragement
yeah,
instead of a word of judgment.
yeah.
You know, we're really good about judging everybody. I mean,
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
Christians judge, the non-Christians judge, all races and
Mhm.
ethnic groups. We do a beautiful job of judging, and we do a beautiful job of blaming this one or that one. So I'm not here to blame anybody, but what I am here to do is bring awareness. And so figure out ways how we can help the next sister
Right.
that's out here that needs a word of encouragement, that needs a bed to lay in a safe space with her children, where she can be comfortable, but yet willing to follow your rules. So that's another thing. I remember as a teenager and young adult, I really was not too enthusiastic about following anybody's rules. It's like I'm grown, I ain't got to do all this. So kind of share with me some of your rules, and how have your guests that you've been serving, how do they follow those rules?
Oh, can I tell you, I am very basic. I am easy. My
Okay.
my biggest point to this house was to give peace, to give
Yes.
somebody a peace of mind so they can think out these issues and solve them.
Uh-huh.
I didn't make this place like a jail. It felt like
Okay.
they are walking into home, getting up in the morning, going to work, and coming back home. It
Uh-huh.
it feels just like that. They have a living room TV. There's no security all day. There's no pointing fingers. You're better. You're better. It's none of that. It is home.
Okay.
So that's what I made it like. And so the rules are just safety rule. Don't smoke in the house.
Okay.
Don't disrespect anyone. Respect the staff. Respect the people who lives here.
Uh-huh.
Uh, love on each other. Help each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's basic. It's simple because respect solves a lot of issues. Uh,
Uh-huh.
what else? Lock the doors after 9:30. No door.
Okay.
Curfew at 10.
Okay.
Um,
So if say I was having uh it would say it's Friday night and it's 9:45 and I'm still on the Missouri side and I get there 5 minutes late. What happens?
the door will probably be the lock will probably be changed. If we have a code system, that code will
Okay.
change exactly at 10 o'clock, and you will not get in.
Wow. So even though your rules are basic, they are solidified. You either follow them or you don't.
That's it.
The choice is yours.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. All right. So that particular night, I got to figure it out because now your door is locked. So whoever I was with, either I stay with them or I got to figure something else out. So the next day, can I come back to
No,
to your house, even
no.
though I was locked out last night?
If they in transitional living, no. But in emergency shelter, they are able to come back because emergency shelter works as we reserve a bed that
Uh-huh.
day only.
Uh-huh.
So, but at 10 o'clock, they're not going to get in there. They can call back tomorrow and say, "Do you have a bed for me?" And we let them in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Transitional is different. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Those rules are 10 o'clock and that's it. And you can't just say, "I'm going to be here the rest of the year and keep on missing curfew." No. So, transition is more of a commitment. I won't help. I won't change. So
Yes.
I bet
Yes.
I am a straightforward person. If you want that, then do what you need to do to get that.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
see, that's really good because um, that lets me know you're going to have to follow some rules. If you're in this situation and there are house rules, you just have to follow them. That's just
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that you have two types of housing. You have transitional housing, which you're trying to make a change, you're changing habits and everything, which would be to follow this rule. And then you also have the emergency assistant housing. And
Mm-hmm.
that bed is reserved for you, but you got to get in there. You got to get in there by 10 o'clock, and you may lose that bed if you abuse that time
Yes.
restraint. So that's really good. Thank you for that. And so because a lot of people who might be willing to fund your organization, they're looking for structure. They're looking, number one, for somebody who makes you accountable for your budget,
Mm-hmm.
someone who makes you accountable for a job, and someone who makes you accountable for where you're living at right now, so that wherever you go in the future, you'll be accountable for paying rent to
Yeah.
that next location. So, and hey, I got to be accountable. My house notice with Capital Federal, I got to do what I got to do every month,
Yeah.
and make sure I get that done. I mean, that's just how it is.
And
And
that was the point, to make a practice environment, so they won't, so they can do this for 12 months, and
yeah,
they know to pay rent. They know not to spend all my money. I have to save money for mercy. I have to eat. So
yes.
we made that house a whole practice environment for transitional. So when they
Oh,
leave,
wow.
they're not doing anything but transitioning to another home
Okay.
with different
So
things. Yeah.
your emergency shelter piece,
Mhm.
and then they transition to the transitional housing piece.
That is an option. So the reason why the emergency shelter came about is because everybody's not ready for transition.
Okay.
So you have agencies just push their families in there in transition
Yeah.
because we said so. We won't help unless you do it, right? So
Yeah.
those people are not ready. Those
Okay.
ladies are not ready for a complete change. They just need somewhere to lay their head at night or with their
Mm-hmm.
children.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I thought, instead of kicking people back on the streets, which I feel like is a contradiction of what I'm trying to do, I
Yeah.
give them an option. Let them tell me what they need, instead of
Yeah.
forcing it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So that's really interesting. Everybody's not ready for transitional housing.
No.
Some people just need somewhere for 2 or 3 nights and then they back to their old whatever.
Hmm.
Others are saying, I want to make a change. I'm sick of this, or I just felt on hard times. Thank you for this opportunity. I'll follow your rules. I'll save my money. I'll keep my job, and I want my own place. Well, see, that's awesome.
Hmm.
So the reason I'm so impressed with your organization is because we worked with the school district.
Hmm.
And while we were working with the school district, we noticed that so many kids were homeless. And we had an opportunity that we could make some changes. We could take those families in the McKinney Vento program with the school district and now provide services for mom or dad or the whole, if depending on how the family structure is, and get them some stable housing.
Hmm.
And so, do you work at all with the McKinney Vento folks? And what has been your experience with that?
I have housed a few of their families. I have.
Hmm.
Mm, I can say they pretty easy. One thing they do is, well, at the school board itself, they actually, they don't just put any family in transitional. They kind of do their part as in their intake, see what fits best for each family. I do like that. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, so they make it pretty. Yeah, I have housed their people. I have.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. So the school district does an assessment process, and
Mhm.
then they're able to share that information with you, so you'll kind of know what you got coming in and what you're working with.
Yeah, they pretty much do all that before they even send them to me. They won't send them to me if they know they're not going to work. I kind of send out the rules and the package before to all the agencies before they even send them to me.
Uh-huh.
Give them these rules, because when they find out, oh, this is another rule I forgot to tell you. They can't have cell phones during the week. We need focus during the week. So that one right there will stop anybody from transition. I had one lady told me, I'll stay under the bridge if I get my phone up with the child. Okay. So
Well, so
that,
explain to me that rule again. They cannot have a cell phone. I mean, I'm trying to figure this out myself. Say that
I
again.
forgot about that's the most important one. That's the one will stop anybody, a lot of people from wanting shelter. Is that one rule is no cell phone, and it's the transitional part. We need focus. If most of them will stay on Facebook for 24 hours, those are the ones that are pushed into transition. Uh,
Okay.
so when it's time for progress, the meetings, have you progress? Yes, I did 250 posts in the last 7 days on
Oh
Facebook.
my
And,
goodness.
or,
Yes.
we
Yes.
have issues of people getting picked up on the corner by,
Yeah.
things like that. So In order for us to get people pushing and moving, we had to take the cell phone. It became a
Wow.
problem. Yeah.
And now, later on during your process, do they get the cell phone back, or are they encouraged to get
Yes.
a new number or something like that? Because I could see that being a problem. Their old hangouts, calling them and wanting to do what they did that actually got them in this position in the first place. I could see where taking the phone could really help them. But it sounds like uh as basic as your rules are, it sounds like this is the one thing that this the one thing that might challenge a lot of people.
And that is the one thing that I can't believe I forgot about it because it's the funniest. I done had so many people say I ain't coming there because I need my cell phone.
Uh-huh.
What about your child? I
Wow.
mean, one lady had a whole fit when the police was called in. She was in the street over a cell phone. Okay, uh, I don't know what to say. Technology is everything.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
but
so so
I
let's
need
take this a little bit further. What happens with the cell phones once they turn that over to you?
so Monday through Friday. It's only Monday through Friday. Okay, Monday at I believe 7 o'clock. It's a black box. They drop they phone in that box, and no one's allowed to have the boxes. We do have a curriculum in the house. Okay, the
Okay.
curriculum is self love. Okay, teaching them to
Okay.
love themselves. So they have workbook work. They have
Okay.
assignments from other educators. They can do it. It's all working on themselves. And
Uh-huh.
when we have
Okay.
cell phones, that work is not getting done. Or the person who need to find a job in 30 days, they're not finding a job. So they wasting all their time on that cell phone. I mean, you literally see somebody laying in the bed, they forgot they homeless, and they're sitting on there, relaxed as can be with a cell phone,
Uh-huh.
and they just Facebook it
Wow.
or on Instagram. Yeah.
That is interesting. So, how do they look for a job if they don't have the phone? Because our society makes us feel like we can't live without a phone. It's dangerous to be out there without a phone. That's what our society makes us, feel like you need a phone to get a job. You need a phone to get some gasoline to go to the gas station. You need a phone all the time. But what you're saying is the phone is the greatest distraction and hinders progress.
Yes,
Wow.
it
It's
has. Yeah.
certainly the same thing at schools. They probably need to take the phone to school. I know that there a lot of people don't like that idea, but hey, it
Yeah.
would certainly help get things focused.
Yeah, the library and what we used to call it, the unemployment office. It's been there a long time, and you don't need a cell phone. You just need to walk in there.
Okay,
Yeah,
just walk to the
yeah,
library
and the
and
unemployment
check
office.
out those resources
Yeah,
and on the computer.
what
I
is they
like
call it?
that.
The workforce center is what they call it. You can
Yes.
walk in there every day, and they have computers, they have navigators, they have resource, everything you need to find a job.
Uh-huh. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. So as easygoing and as basic as you are, you got one little hiccup
That's the
that could
hiccup.
that could kind of slow somebody down if they still want to play a game with themselves or with others. They ain't gonna play the game with you because you want the phone at least Monday through Friday.
Yeah,
So
and that's my favorite. That's the rule I send to all the agencies. Show them this first, and don't send them to me till you show them this.
okay.
Yeah, that they can't have their cell phone. We have
Wow.
no problems after that.
Oh my goodness. Wow. That is interesting. Well, I tell you, I've learned more on this show today about how to really work with individuals to get stuff done. So, on the average, how long are your family staying? At once they done gave up the phone, they get it back. They get the phone back on Saturday and Sunday, and then they turn it back in, right?
Yeah, so they get it back on Friday night. So
Okay.
the house is real easy. Um, It's nothing normal about my house. We we sometimes life skills will be at the bowling alley. Sometimes
Okay.
life skills will be at Wanda Lake playing dominoes.
Okay.
You
Oh,
know,
that's
because
all.
it's a life skill, so it's not to get them down or hurt them, anything like that. But the ones who really won't transition,
Hmm.
they don't care about the phones. You know what I mean? They would come in
Yeah.
there and do what they got to do. I had a young lady in there, and I talk about her a whole lot. She was young too, first young one that, ooh, she blew my mind. But she was pregnant with twins.
Oh. Ooh.
She had twins and she was pregnant. Okay, so she had two little boys and they was 1 year old, and she was
Uh-huh.
pregnant. That young lady came in that house. When I tell you, she did a 360 in 2 weeks. She had permanent
Wow.
house in 2 weeks, and she worked it herself. She was my case manager and her own.
Wow.
Because she wanted it and knew what she wanted.
Yeah.
She got a
Yeah.
job, and I never seen anybody really ever in my life just hook them seatbelts up on two kids.
Uh-huh.
She
Uh-huh.
would pack those kids up all tight and safe, and she will move and do everything she's supposed to do. So
Wow.
if I see a young lady like that, moving around and accomplishing things, I know
Uh-huh.
that anybody else can without kids. So
Right.
the most people that stayed in house is usually 3 to 4 months. But I had
Yeah.
the most I mean is 12 months. I had a lady stay there 13 months
Okay.
because she couldn't find housing. She was waiting on public housing.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I had a woman who was there maybe 11 months. It was maybe two women, but the rest of them usually are out of there about 3 months.
Wow. Well, that's encouraging. That's really encouraging. And it is tough. I know here in Wyandotte County, public housing, especially with the housing authority, is very difficult to acquire. You're
Mm-hmm.
on a long waiting list, and
Yeah.
sometimes you get vouchers. And even if you get a voucher, they're difficult to take advantage of because the different places that you might get a voucher for, the owner has changed their mind or they don't want to any longer support that voucher system. Have
Mhm.
you run into any problems like that?
No, no. Only problems I have with that is just the wait.
Yeah.
So it's usually the wait.
Yeah. And that's good that you're able to just allow your guests to hang in there until they get that housing, that long wait, because that can be long, a long wait.
And
So
that's
that
where the outside activity started from. Some of them ladies, they start to lose hope. You seeing people coming
yes,
in, going out, coming in, going out, and you're just waiting.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It was for encouragement to start doing outside activities because, one of the messages we try to give them, you don't have to be sad going through anything. So,
Hmm. Wow. So I tell you what, this has been so encouraging, and I'm excited for what the future could be with you and Sue's Safe Haven. Um, because this is an opportunity where we need more agencies like yours. We need people who can work and partner with other agencies, not only other uh, nonprofit faith-based organizations that help with other needs, but you have connection with housing also. And do you have connection with mental health services and just regular physical health services? Do you have resources there also?
we do have those resources. We saw one of the new part of our programs is the mentoring part. I just said a little quick bit about it, but we have started getting mentors for each woman because I have did a reflection and found out that a lot of these women don't have support.
Yeah.
So we try to give them a personal support. And then we are starting to have in-house counseling because of the
Uh,
lack of mental health support we get. I think we only have Wyandotte County and what is it called? Wyandotte Center, I believe.
yes.
They
Yeah.
are overpacked. They are full. They
Yeah.
have, the wait list there too. So,
Right.
and my way of helping the ladies in our house is trying to find in-house counseling.
Mm-hmm.
because each woman is required in the transition is one session of therapy a month.
Okay.
They're
Oh,
required.
that's good. That's really good. Wow.
I forget
Okay.
everything. I don't remember until you ask me a question.
Well, I'm glad I keep running my mouth and I keep learning more and more. So I'm going, wow, I didn't know she had all that going on. That is really, really awesome because we got to address those mental health
Mhm,
situations with past trauma that still triggers us
mhm.
as we're trying to transition in life. And so that's excellent. That is absolutely excellent. So, um, how much basically would you like to see your organization bump up? The need here in Wyandotte County is great. And if you could double your budget by getting new funders, what would that amount look like? Or would you uh, uh, just share a little bit about how you would use more funding? How could you use more funding?
Well, I could use more funding. I would like to have hmm, consistent staffing. Okay, staff.
Yes,
So
yes.
it would help me with staffing, and I would like to have a cook on at the house,
Hmm.
because I
Uh-huh,
have learned everybody don't come here to cook. I would love to have monitors for day in the morning time and nighttime.
uh-huh,
Somebody to come in and make sure everybody up and getting ready for their day. Somebody
uh-huh.
on a daily basis. I would love to have that.
Yeah.
For so staffing and a van, something as simple as a van.
Okay.
Oh,
That is really good. So see, except we hear these things, we the community didn't know,
mhm.
it's like in your head you probably think, well, you can see I'm using my personal car, we're trying to do this, we're trying to do that, but this is excellent because now you're getting the word out. If you had a dream that you could have, number one, you'd have at least one 15 passenger van or 12 passenger van.
More
You would.
staff.
Hmm?
More staff,
More staff. You
more
need
space.
at least, sounds like you need at least three more staff people, maybe four. And
Four,
then four
four.
would be good. And then have an extra that could float in, part time or something. It sounds like that would be good. And to motivate staff to stay, you'd have to pay them at a rate where they just ain't gonna float out, so
Yeah,
so this is good information. So we need to do more talking, you and I, even off of this, to try and figure out what we can do um, to try to help and support you here in the community. Um, and I'm just so excited. It's been fun. It always is talking to you, my favorite person, because you got my favorite name, my name, Evelyn. And this has been a blast. We learned a lot today. And I would love to see your program expanded so that we can really help more families. I
thank
love
you.
the fact you got two different pieces you're working on. You got the emergency shelter piece and the transitional housing piece. It would be great if we had more resources for you with mental health and therapists and, like you said, a cook. Uh,
A
that
cook.
could come in every day, or even if they didn't come in every day, but it would be good if they could come in every day and come up with some new, fresh ideas for food and nutrition. That
Yeah.
would be awesome. And sometimes what I've noticed is sometimes the younger women don't know how to make a meal stretch 2 or 3 days. We was forced to when I was a little girl. Spaghetti would go 2 or 3 days. Beans would go 2 or 3 days, and so then the weekend chicken we had fried chicken on Sunday. But my mother ate the chicken backs, which to me was a waste of time. Why would you even fry that? There's no meat on the back of a chicken. So, anyway, that's going way far too back. I don't think they sell too many chicken backs anymore. But my mother and her generation taught us how to make a meal stretch. And that's the type of information is needed. The McDonald's and them was a luxury. It wasn't a everyday thing because you can save a lot of money if you don't go to,
Oh,
you know,
yes.
out every day. So part of your budgeting, I know, is an encouragement in that arena also.
It
So,
is.
all right, Miss Evelyn, thank you, thank you, thank you. You've been fabulous as usual.
Oh,
We
thank you.
appreciate you being on Shades and Justice. And hey, everybody, if you want to get in contact with Evelyn McKinney, Evelyn, would you give them how they can contact you?
You can contact me at admin@suesafehaven.org. That's ADMIN at suesafehaven.org. And then my phone number is 913-400-2980. And you can always call in or you can go on the website. We have links and QR codes everywhere, and they're www.suesafehaven.org.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you, Miss Evelyn McKinney. What a pleasure having you on our show this evening. And hey, everybody, this is Dr. Evelyn Hill with Shades and Justice Podcast. Until next time, let's keep believing for a better day. All right,
Thank
bye-bye.
you.
Hey, thanks for being at our show on tonight. This is Dr. Evelyn Hill with Shades in Justice Podcast. Another great evening to be alive. Hey, this is Positive Power Christian Radio. Dr. Evelyn Hill with Shades in Justice Podcast. Hey, see you next time. You can meet me every Wednesday at 8:30 Central Standard Time or 9:30 Eastern Standard Time right here at Positive Power Christian Radio. See you next time. Bye.